You're 9 practices into it, so I'm sure you solved all the problems on the offensive side of the ball.
Most of the world problems. We start with the world problems, so we've been working on hunger, poverty, inflation. So once we get those, this is Notre Dame now. It's a little bigger picture than just football. We're more well-rounded than that. So, what was the question?
I was just
Playing along. Okay, who's got a question?
Well, how is the quarterback? Do you have an update on them? Are you where you're expected to be at this point with all 4 of those guys?
You'd have to have expectations to be where you expected. So, no, we're plodding along. We put in new stuff today again. So, until you get everything in and you get to run it 30, 40 times, it's hard to, but like today, we put in a couple more new routes and a little bit tweaks on protection, and you're back to now first day of spring ball, and it kind of looked ugly, but I was pretty pleased for today, just putting in some new stuff, and we handled it pretty good. So they're plugging along, and I'm excited. I still think we've got 4 guys that can help us win games. I don't know who's going to be the guy at the end of the day, but from Gunner through Tommy, all 4 of them are doing and showing enough good things that if they get consistently and we don't throw the ball to the other team and we manage the game, they got a chance to really help us.
By the end of spring, where do you want to be in all this in terms of the decision-making process?
We won't have a decision by this spring.
Yeah.
We won't have a decision on almost every position. We don't want to be. We just want to be. We're trying. We got 5 more days to get as good as we could by that spring. Then we got a lot of work to do this summer. Then we got a lot of work to do in fall camp. So, like I said last time, this is a process every year. Let alone, we have as many open competitions at wideout, and at tight end and right side of our offensive line and at quarterback and even at running back. So we got a lot on everybody's plate, and they're plowing through and doing a lot of great things, and some things that we know what'll get us beat. We got to eliminate those things, and we're working on it.
how much emphasis has been placed on the guy that doesn't turn the football over? But if that's priority number 1, what's priority number 2, 3, and 4?
Well, it's just 1 and 1A really. It's you weigh who makes the most plays, makes the most positive things happen versus those negative plays. So it's just, and no one has like the sliding scale of what it is. It's just a constant evaluation, because you can't play the guy that never turns it over, that never makes a play either. So there's a balance, and obviously you're going to err on the turnovers much more disastrous than the good throw is good. So, but we are, we say it all the time in practice. I said it 60 times today. The kids are always sick of hearing. It's like, we don't decide who plays. You decide who plays. We don't decide who we throw the ball to. You decide. We're giving everybody chances to run the routes. If you run the route right and you catch the ball, guess what? We may like Johnny better than Steve, but we're going to throw it to Steve because he runs the route right, and we're not. So it's the same deal as when you're looking at the quarterbacks in particular. Is every day we're evaluating, hey, he made these positive things happen, which are awesome, and now you got to kind of weigh it versus how many disastrous things happen, because we lived through that 6, 7 plays can really change your whole complexion of a whole year.
Because it is a process at quarterback, how much has it, and you're starting from page 1 there, how has that affected maybe the 10 other players on offense as far as moving forward and progressing collectively?
Yeah, it hasn't been bad. I'd say we maybe slowed it down a little, but really we haven't slowed it down much. We slow it down a little bit more for Gunner, just so he can have quality reps every day, so that when he gets out there, we're sure he knows, and he's learning at a very rapid rate, and he's a sharp kid. But so if anything, there's maybe a small portion of reps that we kind of really maybe make it a little simpler than when guys that have been here for over a year, you can go at a little more rapid pace. But we haven't slowed down, and part of it is just cleaning a lot of things up at every position. So we kind of wanted to slow it down a little bit at every position, because we want to clean up the mistakes and wind up and clean up them. And once you clean up the mistakes, now it comes into what you're saying is, okay, now no one's making mistakes. Now who's making the most plays? Those guys you play.
From that perspective, then, through 9 practices, have you left the field after each session saying, okay, we took another step today, we took another step?
Yeah, I'm ecstatic. I don't know if after every day I felt that way, but I think we're way ahead of where I thought I'd be 9 days in, as far as kids really grasping and buying into what we're trying to sell. Because, again, the goal is to eliminate all the mistakes, so then just the playmakers play. If all the positions don't make mistakes, now, unrealistic, I get it, but that's the goal. That's the sense of urgency we're striving for, is that, hey, it doesn't matter who we put in at X, he's going to play X the way it's supposed to be played. And now, okay, who's the best X? So shouldn't mean, talent shouldn't have a difference on whether you can execute our offense. If you're less talented, you still should be able to execute offense. Now, maybe you don't make as many plays because you have less athleticism. So that's the point we're grinding to, and I think the kids are getting the idea that we're not going to be a mistake-riddled offense that does a lot of great things, but then we shoot ourselves in the foot, because that doesn't matter what level of football it causes losing, so.